Hey everybody, this video is going to be kind of a catch-all. It's going to be a mail day and a video response for Carltopia. Congratulations, Carltopia, on 200. You're now at 205. So keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your content. Love your channel. Doing a great job. Before I get to mail, I wanted to recognize the passing of Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. I have him on a 64. He played 15 years. He was a three-time All-Star. Played for the Astros, Dodgers, Braves, the AL New York team. I'm covering up his name. The AL New York team. And the Brewers. Was kind of an on-base machine. I believe he would be much more appreciated in today's game. Led the league in walks 3 times. And never led the league in on base, but if you look at his on base, it was really remarkable for the time. Not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of Very Good, and was very nice to fans. Obviously, signed for me 2 different times. I think each was 1 for 1, I believe. I may have had him on a 74 at one point and then got rid of it, but very grateful to have those. Mr. Wynn, rest in peace. Mail, some mail. Finally found one of these for the 2015 Bowman Draft set. Down to 1 card. Down to Albert Almora Jr. And I have 1 incoming. So look for this to be completed next week. And when we do, I'll find a way to set this iPad up to do some kind of binder presentation. We'll just go through all 200 cards. But real happy to get that. That was in person, and I'm forgetting who found it for me. It was in one of my Facebook groups. By the way, I can now stop touching my face. I'm sorry, I'm going to catch this disease. Anyway, I got that for such a screaming deal. It was ridiculous. And what's funny is I notice every once in a while you get down on a set, and we got one TTM in today, Indianapolis. You get down on a set, and every once in a while, someone will hold you hostage and charge you $20 for some comment or whatever. And what I found with the Bowman Draft set is like the last 3 cards I got, people knew that I was getting down low and just gave me great deals on guys I needed. And in a couple instances, I gave them more. I'm like, hey, I don't want to rip you off. I appreciate the help, but Indianapolis, Indiana? Haven't seen anything to Indiana in a while from what I know. Feels like 2 cards. Let's do this together. Those are backwards. I see some. Hold on. I got to wake my computer up because I actually have notes today. Believe it or not, I'm prepared. Okay. Bernie Allen on his 73 tops. I don't remember when I sent these. And a 71. I may put this in our giveaway stack for this weekend. I'll keep you updated. But happy to get those. And I'll look up when those came in. I'll put it in the description below so that you know. But I want to say it's been a while. I don't remember sending to Bernie Allen. Then again, the memory comes and goes. By the way, I am wearing the same shirt as yesterday, if you couldn't help but notice. But it's like, where am I going, right? It's a miracle I shaved and showered. It's a real miracle I shaved and showered. Anyway, this is the video response portion of the video. Carltopia, again, congratulations on 200 subs, now 205. So you wanted to do sort of a celebration of the decades, just like 2020 Tops is doing. And that's a wonderful idea. Before I go any further, I've also seen the Ken Burns series many times. And if you've seen my other videos, you've seen it in the background on VHS. And yes, I still watch those. I was watching inning 3 just a couple days ago. And might be a good evening to pop one in since today was supposed to be opening day. And I don't want to talk about that. I'll get emotional. I'll get verklempt. If, by the way, a tip for anyone else that's watching, right now, you can watch Ken Burns baseball for free. PBS is streaming it. Apparently, the story is that Ken Burns asked them to stream it for free during the lockdown, whatever you want to call our governor's calling it stay home, stay safe, or stay home, stay healthy. That makes you feel better about being trapped like a rat. Anyway, apparently Ken Burns asked PBS to make this public, stream for free, no login required. So they've done that at PBS. I'll drop a link below. I agree with Carltopia. I don't know if you can call yourself a baseball fan unless you've watched Ken Burns' baseball series. If I'm calling you out, then you can make yourself feel better by going and watching it. But so he wanted my favorite decade and then maybe a card, or I have like 5 or 6 here. So my favorite decade of baseball is the 90s. There's a couple reasons for that. So for one, I became a baseball fan in kind of the mid to late 80s. And at that time I started collecting cards. We could really only watch like the game of the week and maybe This Week in Baseball and check the back of cards to sort of figure out what was going on with the sport. In our newspaper, we checked the box scores every day and we saw how our favorite players were doing. But when the 90s rolled around, I guess I was turning 16 and I had some money. As a gift, I got a subscription to Baseball Digest, which was just awesome. I loved it. I got, as a graduation gift a couple years later, I got the encyclopedia or dictionary that has every stat at the time from every player. We got cable, so I was able to watch Cubs and Braves games and Baseball Tonight. And anyway, the information that I was plugged into for the first time just really expanded my knowledge of the game, and I just blew up. And that's when I turned into a super nerd of baseball. And furthermore, my local team, the Mariners, finally got good. They had their first winning season in 91. They won 83 games. They celebrated on the field like they just won a World Series. It was it seems kind of ridiculous, but for a long time, like Seattle fans felt like they were cursed, and all the way up until the first postseason berth in 95. And then there was another postseason berth in 97. We don't need to talk about the details of how those worked out. Obviously, the Mariners still never been to a World Series. But anyway, baseball got put on the map locally here. And for me, as just a general fan, I just got access to so much more information. And I just lapped it up. I couldn't get enough. I was annoying to all my family. I still am, just irritating nerd. That's why I love Facebook. We got a lot of nerds here. I love you all. So furthermore, just some of the players I love, just Mark Grace. I always admired him. Had more hits than anybody in the 90s. That's a little trivia in case you don't know it. Obviously Mariners like Griffey. Another reason why I'm a huge fan, because he was just coming on right as the 90s started. Edgar, same thing. A-Rod toward the middle of the decade. Randy Johnson. Other players I liked: Juan Gonzalez, Will Clark, Larry Walker, Tony Gwynn, Hideo Nomo. I just love the wind-up. And Ricky is my all-time favorite. You see me show off on Christmas. I showed off my ball. It's that one right there. Check it. There's my Ricky ball. So anyway, as far as cards go, also a great decade for cards, just because when the decade started, in 1990, things were kind of still more traditional. So here's a good example where kind of standard paper stock, classic design. Here's a 1990 Leaf Edgar. Not a lot of shock value, but looks great. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite sets. At one point, I was building this set, autographed version of this, and I had about 30 cards to go. This is in late 2018, and had to start selling it off because my student teaching wasn't paying me, and I sort of hated to do it, but I'd also stalled out. Anyway, I kept a few things that I loved from it. Classic design, and that's how the 90s started. Soon after that, in 91, companies started kicking up a notch, and Topps released this set, which I think is a landmark set, Stadium Club. It's the first time that they said, hey, let's give people. Really nice photography, crisp, clean, clear, crystal clear picture, foil, and it's still one of my favorite sets. Obviously, you see me getting stuff in for it all the time. Love me some 91 Stadium Club, and of course, I just continue to like Stadium Club in general. And this really forced a lot of other companies to kick up their quality a notch. And 92 Ultra is an excellent example of that. Cards just got, in addition to photography getting better, cards got glossier. They started playing around with foil more. Here's a 95 Emotion. Another set, that's Matt Williams. Another set you see me show off a lot and talk about. But just a lot of innovation and sort of playing around with different designs and things like that. Didn't see if I saw any foil before the 90s. I forgot that I saw it. Here's a cool select Davy Cruz. What's the official name for foils? Like Duflex. I couldn't remember. I just always call them foil cards. But that one's really cool. Look at how the blue and the autograph matches the highlight of that rookie. I just really like this. Common player, Davy Cruz. But this is even a little bit embossed. You can't tell really from the front, but on the back I can see Davy Cruz's outline here. Awesome card. Nice big picture on the back. Different alternative stats. That's another thing didn't really see before. These are called, these select cards, I think they're called Museum or something like that. And there's gold versions and silver versions. That's another thing. Parallels weren't really a thing before the 90s, but they really took off. Autographs inserted into packs, game used inserted into packs. Really, we just ran the gamut in the 90s from this all the way to die cuts. Here's a 1999 Planet or Metal. This is a Planet die cut, and it's a 10 card set, 15 card set. At one point I had the whole set, and then I thought, well, I'm going to see how many I can get autographed, and I got like 5 or 6. And then I don't know what I did with the others, and then I just broke them into binders. So this is in my J binder now. But anyway, love me some 90s. Here's your run the gamut on the 90s. 1990, 1999. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, I love a lot of other decades too. You see me getting all these 70s cards, and I just like them all. But I had to pick something 90s again because I was just at that age where I was able to get all this information and super excited about baseball. It's lasted to this day. I'm 46 now. I'm still having a little memorial for opening day here. But I was happy to do this video. Carltopia. Again, congratulations on 200. You got a great channel. It reminds me a lot of mine. And I know you're going to continue to do great things. So we'll see you next time. Maybe I'll have a different shirt on next time. Who knows?